Hey guys, how we doing? Happy Tuesday, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for joining me on my Facebook page and my Instagram page. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. Appreciate your time. Time is money, right? So time is super valuable. Appreciate the support, the likes, the hearts, the shares. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys for joining me. So I want to talk about a very important topic because no one is really safe from insecurities. No one, not even the most talented person. Um, Try reading some autobiographies. Have you guys ever read Will Smith's autobiography, for example? I mean, that guy's amazing, right? Um, he talks about being a coward, right? That's something that can really make you insecure for most of your life. Even as an adult, even as a successful people, there's always gonna be that sentiment behind creeping in there, where you tell yourself, you know what, I'm a coward. That's just who I am. I've been a coward in school. I've been a coward as a child. I've been a coward in my family, right? I didn't stand up for my mom who was abused. I didn't stand up for a sister or a brother who was harassed sexually. I didn't stand up for myself when I was mistreated by people, when I was bullied, right? I didn't fight for what I wanted. I grew up and I continue doing the same thing. I am a coward, right? Those things continue translating until we deal with them. But not only that, we're over here trying to do the best we can to succeed in life. We're trying to build a business, for example. And you wonder why you're not able to be consistent. You wonder why you're having a hard time convincing others that you have something of value to offer. You wonder why you can't get your business off the ground. You wonder why you cannot be successful financially, why you don't have the means, why you don't have the courage, you don't have the um the influence, because there is these things from our past, from our childhood, things that have been taught to us, right? Like you're good for nothing, like you talk too much, like be quiet and listen, like stop being yourself, pretty much, in so many words, right? Stop being yourself in school, stop being yourself at home, stop being yourself with your friends. We're always pretending we're somebody else, right? And that's the opposite of being courageous, to stand up for who you are, really. Because you want to be accepted, because someone's talking bad about who you really are, because someone's criticizing you. And instead of thinking, you know what, I'm gonna get away from these negative people because they're toxic in my life. They don't accept me, so they're not real friends. What do? We change for them, or we pretend. We hide who we really are in order to be accepted, because that's ultimately what we want. But ultimately, you are supposed to be accepted for who you are. What insecurities are dragging you down now that you're having a hard time succeeding in your relationship? What insecurities are dragging you down now that you're having a hard time succeeding in your business? What insecurities are dragging you down now that you're having a hard time succeeding in your job because you don't think that you are good enough? Because you don't think that you deserve good luck, good fortune, a good raise, a good wage, a good job, a good position, a promotion. You don't think you deserve a good spouse, partner, a good husband, a good wife. You don't think you deserve good children that care for you. You don't think you deserve to live your best life. You don't think you deserve a home. You don't think you deserve your best car. You don't think that you deserve all of these wonderful things, right? You look at other people and you are like, wow, like, I only wish. But you have accepted your lot, right? And all this is rooted in something that we were taught as very young people. Hey, Jerome, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, brother. So excited for you and what you got going on tomorrow with Ashley Furniture. I am cheering you on, my friend. I am cheering you on. So, what insecurities are dragging us down, right? Past failures. Did we fail once? Did we fail twice? Right? What does John C. Maxwell say? Fail forward, right? What does Will Smith talk about all the time? Fail forward. Fail forward. right? We kind of want to like do that roll up, like when you fall, like boom, and you kind of roll forward, right? And you take off running, right? We don't stop. We fall, we get back up. It's kind of like a motion, right? And we get used to this. We get used to this over time when we understand that the journey in life, it's that failing and getting up, that failing and trying again, that failing in that roll, front row, and let's keep going. We get used to that. We could accustom ourselves to understanding that. Yes, there's going to be downtimes in earth while we live here. There's going to be failing moments, but what are we supposed to do? What does a child do every time when that child is learning how to walk? What does that child do every time? They're stubborn to walk. And there is no human being that's going to come to that child and tell that child, man, you need to give up. You're never going to do it. Why? Because we are so convinced and we know that that child will eventually walk. Why? Because everybody does it. But all of a sudden, when someone tells you, I wanna go to school and become this, oh, you can't do that. I want to start my own business, oh, you can't do that. I want to have a good relationship, oh, you can't do that. There's a million excuses why. So we cut our wings before we even get to attempt to fly. And then we wonder why we fail. But what insecurities are dragging us down? Is it the way we look, right? Is it our hair? Is it our teeth? Is it our face? Is it our posture? Is it your body type? What is affecting us? What is stopping us? What insecurities did we have to deal with since we were young? What did our parents, unfortunately, some parents, they didn't mean harm, but they told us certain things that affected us. They taught us to be who we are now, right? Like, oh, don't talk too much. You talk way too much. We were outspoken for a reason. Maybe we were meant to lead a pack because we have something to say. But we're just children. We don't know yet. We're just being ourselves. But if your parent tells you daily, shut up before I smack you, keep your mouth shut, stop talking so much, no one asked you, dude, they're crushing you. They're crushing your future. So that's why now, guys, it's our job as adults. You are in charge of your life, right? No one else is. So it's your job to not accept anything that affects you in your life, anything negative, anything that's holding you back, anything dragging you down. You need to let it go and you need to see ahead of you, what is it that I want to be, my life to be? What is it that I want for my life? And then you ask yourself, how can I get that? And then you figure out there's other people out there that have what you want. And what you need to do is you need to study how those people have achieved that. And in those people that are successful, you're going to see a story. Every single person in the world has a story, and that's the power that we hold, our story. How do we brand our business? Our story. How do we make friends? How do we grow our network? How do we get accepted and loved? Our story. Because we have something to tell. A story has different parts, right? It has the intro, right? It has your main theme, your plot, what happened, all the conflict comes out, your main characters, you identify who the protagonist is in the story, who were the antagonists, who were the enemies, who were the problems, who were the issues, what happened, where did the story climax, and how did the story land back and lead into an ending, right? But guess what? Your life is not over. And the movie, it's still rolling. Every day that you wake up, you have the potential to make of your life whatever it is that you want. But the problem that we all have, most of us have, is that we don't take the time to really focus in ourselves in order to produce solutions in this life. We focus on others. We think the problem is somewhere else. We think the problem is outside of us. We think the problem is our past, our parents, our siblings, our spouses, our friends, our enemies, our co-workers, our bosses. The problem is not them. The problem has never been them. The problem is us. So in the end, or better said, the solution is within us. So better said, all I need to worry about is like, okay, a problem came afloat, perfect. If you don't identify a problem, something's wrong, if you never figure that out, then what's going to happen, right? You'll never fix it. So now that we figure out that there's an issue there, guess what? It is your job and your job only to fix it. That's the beautiful part about life, that we get to learn. We get to be a creator alongside God in order to create our life. He gave us all the tools. He gave us the place where we were going to be born, the parent, the perfect setup, the struggles, the body, the means, the intelligence, the learning, the wisdom, the Bible, the books, the teachings. He gave us everything. What do we do about it? Right? My cat, he got a shower because he made a mess with the litter. We came home and he made a mess. And my wife started showering him, so now he's crying. So I'm gonna have to get him out of here because I don't want you guys listening to that the whole time. But let me see. Ooh, Mr. Shower time. Here I am, guys. So ultimately, we are in charge. You'll hear me talk a lot about changing your mind, changing your life. You'll hear me talk about being proactive, right? One of the 7 habits of highly effective people is being proactive. And really what that means is taking responsibility for your life and your actions and everything that happens to you, doing something about it, right? Being ahead of the game by being in charge, being in control. We need to start regaining control over our lives. So we need to recognize those things that are still affecting us and work on them consistently, right? I always talk about having tools to work on things, having affirmations, having goals, having a vision board, writing things down. You need to make a list of everything that you feel that is dragging you down. I want you guys to make a list for yourself, and I want you to identify things that you feel that are affecting you still from childhood. Try to think back of things that maybe traumatized you, affected you, things that make you sad, things that you feel that you still hold grudges, things that make you angry or nervous or anxious. What are some of the fears that you have currently? What are some of the things that you are afraid of that you don't want to fear? You don't want to face, right? You want to identify these fears, and you want to be able to write them down. You want to confront them. You want to accept them. You want to really think about all the things that are, holding you back from prosperity, holding you back from growth, right? And you want to accept them and learn from them. So you need to see the negative situation, and you need to start being grateful for what came out of that. That's extremely important. You need to be grateful for what came out of that thing that affected you so much, that thing that bothers you so much today. What is that thing that happened to you a long time ago, that insecurity you have, those things that happen to you that you do not like, right? A parent, a mother, someone telling you, I wish I never had you. I wish I would have aborted you when I had the chance. I never loved your father. All those memories of someone being abused, right? Someone being hurt, and you blaming yourself for not stepping in and doing anything about it. Maybe abuse you went through. All these situations that are so traumatic, so negative, right? We need to learn to find in those things that one thing or a few things or a lot of things that we are grateful for. Okay? Because that experience you cannot buy, the understanding and the lessons that you learn from that situation, you cannot buy anywhere, right? There's a way different for me to read a book and learn about something than for me to live it. So everything I've been through with my wife, everything I've been through before in my childhood since a young age has made me who I am today. In the end, I'm grateful because I'm sitting here in front of you sharing some of this. That makes me satisfied, makes me happy, and I get to influence other people's lives. So to me, that's a win. So maybe everything I went through as a youngin was worth it, right? So a lot of things in life, the reason why they are so wrong in our life is because we don't see the point of gratitude in them. Living in gratitude, living with gratitude, being grateful is such an important thing in life. I cannot stress it. I just cannot stress it. If you're experiencing, um, if you're not satisfied with your life, then there's lack of gratitude there. So start, just like I told you guys, write a list of everything that is an insecurity, everything that's bothering you, traumatic things you went through, things that you think affected you, resentments that you have, what brings you sadness, what brings you anger. Write those things down from your past. That's one list. Now I want you to write a list of everything that you are grateful for. Today, this year so far, the past couple of years, your whole life, what are you grateful for? Right? That's super important. Really put that in the balance. I am sure, I'm 100% sure that the list with the blessings, the list where you're counting all the good things in your life that you're grateful for, that list is going to be bigger than the list of the negative things you have gone through. Right? So this list, I want you to burn. I want you to get rid of it. I want you to face it. I want you to rip it. I want you to get rid of it in your life. Right? Put it behind. Make peace with it. And I want you to focus on the list of all the blessings and all the things that you are grateful for. And that's what I want you to work with. Right there, you're going to find hope. Right there, you're going to find motivation. Right there, you're going to find gratitude. And you're going to have a sense of purpose. And why am I still alive? Why should I continue being alive? Why is my life not the worst? Why do I have something to offer to people? And I want you to use your story, that story that comes from that list. I want you to use that story to impact others, to impact your present life. If you didn't have a good family, a good upbringing, your parents were not united, your family was all over the place, you went through so many things, well, guess what? Now, if you have kids, are you going to put them through the same things because that's what you went through? Or are you going to do a complete 180 on that? And are you going to break generational curses? And are you going to show your kids love and unity and conversation and communication and understanding and motivation and affirmation and goals and dreams and desires and support for what it is that they want to do? We ourselves shut down our kids. We shut them down. It's hard not to do it because we think we're doing the right thing as a parent, but we're actually might be shutting down their true personality. So that's a thing that is very, very tricky. But obviously that's a big difference if we do it not on purpose because we think we're parenting versus someone who's just not in a good stage and they're horrible parents for their children. So don't beat yourself up about it, but it's time to wake up. Start facing your fears from before. Start facing those traumas. Start facing those abuses. Let's start a new chapter. Every single day you have a chapter, a new life, a new beginning, a new you for you to take over the future. The way to take over the future for the best is now. So that is what I wish for me. That's what I wish for my kids and for everybody else. Everybody has a story. Everybody's going to find their story. Everybody needs to identify that story, that why. Why is that passion and that reason why you want to get ahead in life? Why is it that you're starting your own business? Why is it that you want happiness over anything? Why is it that you want a better lifestyle or money? Why is it that you want prosperity or progress? Why is it that you want to be educated? Why is it that you want to work 2 jobs? Why is it that you do anything? Don't forget, guys, the way we do something is the way we do everything. And I know that's hard to understand. But when you are lacking off, when we're slacking off and not completing your tasks, not achieving your goals, when you are all over the place, there's a reason why. Maybe it's our own insecurity that we think that we don't deserve to triumph in this life. But let me tell you something, we do. We do. I promise you, we do. You guys know my story, some of my story, you know what I've been through, you know my wife's story, and there's so many details because I never talked about before, right? I never talked about, but I come from a home where my parents split up, and some of my most early memories involve people getting arrested and domestic violence in the home, hysterical screaming and crying, and growing up also with a stepbrother who there was always some sort of sense of love but also animosity, having split parents, split homes, just like, who do you want to be with, who can you be with, where should you be, and why, right? No real stability, no acceptance from my mom's family to a degree. A whole drama there that it was sad. And then living with my dad, him working so many hours a day, so the parenting wasn't really there, so I had freedom to kind of just pick up things, and what I had around my neighborhood, what was exposed to from my brothers, from friends, from my surroundings, wasn't the best. So I grew up making really bad decisions, right? You guys can just guess all the bad decisions, all the drugs, the alcohol, suspended from school, kicked out, you know, threatened to be completely removed from the LAUSD system. Just overall, just like wasting my talent. And I remember as a young child, remember some of the times where I was very nurtured. There was a time where I was very nurtured when I lived with my mom between the ages of 6 and 9. I lived with my mom, but during that time, I ended up living with my aunt, right? And it all had to do with my grandparents and not being able to be there, not being able to be stand by them, or I was being mistreated by them. Somehow I ended up with my aunt. She helped me how to learn my first communion because they were Catholic, right? I did my first communion with them. She taught me everything I needed to know. She taught me the times tables, the multiplication tables. She taught me that, and like had me be good in school. That's where I ate the fruity pebbles and the good. I had that good orange juice. I had soft boiled eggs. I had food. They had money to a degree. She lived in a 2-story home in a big, pretty nice, decent, big home, right? She had a good job, and I would hang out at their job too. It was a jewelry shop, where they would repair jewelry, and like that was kind of like the money side of the family. So I was exposed to things, right? I was nurtured at that time. I was taught, she was unable to have children. So because of that, she took me in with all her heart and like just raised me as a child. It was a brief period, but that was a great life. I mean, I remember watching Cartoon Network. I remember spending time with them. I remember having my own room, all the things that I couldn't get from my mom because she just didn't have it, couldn't afford it, right? There was a lack thereof. So after that, eventually I moved with my dad. And once I moved with my dad, I started getting different things that were really cool and awesome. I exposed to different things, and he was happy to have me. He did the best he could, but he did work. He did work a good amount. So when I was very young, I would go to work with him, right? He did delivery, so I would be in the car, fall asleep, pick me up from school, wake up really early, the whole shebang, hang out with him, took me places. So that was actually a really cool part. I was exposed to so many different things, and as I started getting older, it was like, okay, you're walking home from school, right? What do I do between those times? What do I do between leaving school and getting to my home? That's where especially during the teenage years, and when you're exposed to that, that's when things start getting tricky, so if you don't have a parent supervising you, you don't have someone, helping you with your homework, making sure you complete your homework, making sure that you helping you think that you can achieve more in life. What are my chances of going to college? What are my chances of finishing high school? I got lucky and I finished high school with a GED, right? I am really surprised at where I am now, right? How high I reached in my full-time job and in my profession now, and where I am now, and the things that I love and I'm interested in. But what I was gonna say, during that time when I was nurtured, when I was young and I lived with that on, I remember I wanted to be an architect. I remember I wanted to be an explorer. I had a lot of interest in so many different things. Somehow I got corrupted later. It was about being social, right? It was fun and girls and drugs and hip hop and music and just playing and just being in the street all day. Nothing that I'm saying that is wrong with any of those things if you do them right. But as a young person with like no supervision and just like the freedom to do whatever, what do you think that I did? So I wasted a lot of my young days. Now, when life got serious, when I got older, it's time for me to focus on my relationship, to build a family, to build a home. I'm like behind in maturity level. Like my mind is like, man, I got like two lifestyles. I want family, but I also want to party. I want family, but I want to mess around. I want a wife, but I want every woman that stands in front of me. But I really love my wife. But I really want someone else. But I really love my girlfriend. But I really want someone. You know what I mean? So all these things contribute. Everything we've gone through in our past helps us to be who we are now. It is time, guys, to focus on that list of everything that bothers you from before and start a new chapter and be grateful for everything that came from that and be grateful for everything that you are now and be grateful for everything that is gonna come from the future. Don't forget the future is in your hands. So if you're having a hard time being consistent, if you're having a hard time sticking to your tasks, if you're having a hard time succeeding in your business and being consistent mostly in your business, being patient, if you're having a hard time in your relationship, if you're having a hard time in any area in life, I want you to really do a deep dive and check insecurities. What insecurities, what happened that affected you, what is dragging you down, that is not letting you move forward, move on, and and convince you that you deserve the best possible life. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this wonderful, beautiful Tuesday. Nice cold weather, rainy weather here in Los Angeles, California area. Let me know in the comments, where are you tuning in from? How did you find my page? Where do you know me from? Um, I really, really appreciate the support, the love, and the shares. And I mostly try to go live and talk about these topics that are so important in our life. So that way, share them with people that you think might need them, right? If you're in business, share them with your team, because all these things, as you know, some of you know, my wife and I, what we do, we work businesses, so this is super important for our business. When we feel stuck, we try to think of like, okay, what do I need to work on myself? What area of myself do I need to work on? Right? We can't be like, oh, it's slow, the season, oh, the people, oh, the company. Yeah, we're gonna blame everybody. Let's live a life of gratitude. What are we doing right? What do we need to work on? Right? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm looking forward to a wonderful topic for tomorrow. And I am thinking of a giveaway this Friday again. I'm getting in the habit of giving money away, right? Once a week, 2 weeks in a row. This past week, it was the 24th, it was Christmas Eve, so I figure I give something back. But I'm looking forward to doing a giveaway. Now, as you know, I don't ask anything from you guys, but to be part of my private group, right? If you're part of my private group, that's where the giveaways come in, and there's usually $25 in cash. So if you have Cash App, I should send you $25 if you win. Crypto, I can give away $25 worth of crypto of my choice. I can give away a $25 Visa gift card. I can give away a $30 Nike store card. I can give away, little things I can find, right? So, anyways, that's just a way for me to get back consistently to all the people that believe in me or somehow supporting me by joining my group. Now, once you're in my group, you'll be exposed to different things, everything financial, everything credit repair, everything budgeting, everything debt consolidation, things like that that are going to help you in your life, in your financial life, because I know how important money is and I want you guys to succeed, right? So I put the tools there. It's up to you to take advantage of them, right? So at least what I did is I opened the door, you go in and you do what you must, right? So I decide that I want to give back to people, right? So if you want to join the group because you have not yet, let me know, send me a message, and I'm happy to add you. The group is on Facebook, right? It's a Facebook group. And yeah, like I said, you don't have to do anything but be part of the group. And then every Friday, I add the names, do a little spin the wheel, or do a little pick the name out of the bag, and just have fun with it, right? And I like to give. And the reason why I add the crypto is because I want people to have a little bit exposure to that, so they can start getting their feet wet. Because obviously, crypto is a part of our future that we are already living. So, you know, why not, right? I'm trying to, spark that thing in people, for them to be awake to, like, okay, there's so many ways that I can be making money, so I don't have to work 40 hours a week for 40 years to get what crumbs at the end of my life. So you can start securing financial, the education for your kids, the future, your investments, your home, your car, your giving to others. How can we help others if we don't have money? We're struggling with money. How can we give charity, right? How can we influence the world? So you got to think about different ways. If you don't want to be greedy, like, this is one of the worst things that they taught you when you were young. Is like, money is the root of all evil, and money doesn't bring you happiness, and money can buy you love. Like, of course, money cannot buy you love, and of course, money cannot buy you happiness, cannot make you happy, right? And the whole thing that money is the root of all evil, that is incorrect. That's just not right. That is poor mentality, poor man's mentality. They want to make you an employee, they want to make you a worker, they want to make you a person who struggles, who has debt, who is not able to be financially free, time free, location free. That's what they want you to be. They want you to be ignorant without the knowledge of how money works. So there's all these random sayings, there's just excuses. All you have to do is be consistent. Find a formula, find a system, stick to it, and be consistent. And you're going to start creating income. And that income is going to start creating wealth, amounting to big amounts of wealth. And then you can see where you put that money. Where do you invest that money? Where do you donate that money? Where do you move that money? Money exchanges hands. That's what money's for, exchanging hands. Some people make it, some people lose it at the same time. That's the way it works. Okay? So, money is the root of all evil. Greed is the root of all evil. Money cannot buy you happiness? Of course not. Happiness is a state of mind, and you can be happy with money or without money. But wouldn't you want to live your best life and have comfort and travel the world and take a trip and take a vacation and go to a different place where maybe the air is fresher and not so toxic from the smog? I don't know. I'm just saying. Wouldn't you want to go somewhere else and learn about different religions and learn about different cultures and eat different foods and meet different people, just because, like, there's so much out there in the world that we don't know? Of course. So, I didn't mean to make this video long, but www.winwiththecoach.com, all my links are there. I have to update a little bit at my TikTok there. I need to, but it's pretty dated. If you have any questions, let me know. And I'm happy to answer them. And like I always tell you guys, I'm happy to jump on a messenger. If you are suffering from depression, anxiety, issues in your business, confusion, you have questions on social media things, questions on business, questions on investing, questions on credit, questions on finances. If you guys need connections to real estate agents, brokers, if you guys need connections to life insurance people, if you need connections to the world around you, to someone who knows what they're doing, if you want connections to mentors, what mentors do I recommend? What books do I recommend? If you need any of this information, that golden list of information, reach out to me. We'll talk about it and I'll hook you up. All right? So I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you so much for joining me.